1.
Okay, hello. So this is in live jam about in city user experience. City user experience. Today we are 3 professors in Kookmin University in Korea. So first I'm present, and second Professor Jinyeoul. Last is a professor in Hyemin, the speak, and after speak, so we are the wrap up in this live jam. First, I'm sharing my presentation. Okay, so today's speaker is for me. First, I'm talking the in-city interface. Second, Professor Jinyeoul is talking area design management. Last is Hyemin is in talking the in-city design work. My today presentation is in-city interface. I'm now the professors in interaction design lab. So in TED that is in Grad School of Techno Design. So in Kookmin University. So our interaction design lab is the study the interaction, and we are the product and service, and also city. We are thinking the city is a very complex product. So we are studied in city is like in interaction design viewpoint. Today is in why we are talking in the city UX design, because in the design marathon is topic in graceful life. So the life in city, that is a very key factor for the increased life. And also cities is really the complex. So we need some viewpoint. So one is a very good viewpoint is in user-centered city. And also in design area in sustainable is very important. So sustainable means that is also very the well-balanced approach is like in economically or environmentally or human side or technical side is all is well-balanced. Is the key factors in sustainable city. So we are some US designers. So we also I know is a lot of in department, a lot of in academic side is researching about city, and also UX design also approaching in city about the city. So that is in key point is in UX design is in user-centered design. So we are thinking that in user-centered city approach is really is very useful and also meaningful. So that is in our approaching. So in design area is in always is we are design some product and also service. So I make a product, there are some process, we are some research, and also we are doing some design. But city is a really too big and also very long time issues. So and also many designers in city. So how to approach, especially in UX design. So in UX design, actually they focusing the first in interface area, and also consider their interaction level, and also they consider their experience issues. Usually, in UX designers belong to some organization. It's like a company, or is they design is they consider their own organization, and also they consider the user target, and also they design something. But in city cases, is a lot of providers exist. It's like in citizens and also company or community or government. It's a lot of provider is there. Some part actually design some part of the city. Is many cities is especially in government side is their own schedule or their own planning is like in 10 years planning, 30 years planning, 100 years planning. But is in the city is not designed by own government side. Actually, all members in a city is actually they joined. Actually, they are in designed in city. So that is usually the in US design actually they is in one key designer or one key organization is design something for the users. That is a little different approach in city area. So that is in a different side. And also always in US design first define the who is the user. The city is really is all people. For example, we are now is in Seoul City. Seoul City is about in is 10 million people lived in here. So it's that 10 million people is some people is old people, especially in Korea is in actually also China also actually is many countries in many countries, many cities is actually is all the people is more and more is in issues because in the people is live more longer and also they are need many some support for them. So in a city, so it's old people is very important customer or user, and also tourist also the city is many cities in tour is a very is important in business. So tourist also is in the key users, and also now is especially young people is in not just to stay in one place. There are some people is one city live in 1 month, in going to another city live in 1 month, and also move is another country 1 month. So it's now is in digital academy is digital industry area is in nomad approach is also possible, and also is now in COVID-19 is actually we not difficult to is moving, but is more and more in technology is possible to the in is many foreigners is come visiting in some other cities. And also city is not only by the in human side. It's actually the in cities they own is nature side. That is the city is also considered is in nature side. And also this usually is if we are designing mobile phone, we are considered in design process is 1 year. Is if I design in car, we consider almost 4 years. But is in cities, it's not just 1 year project. Actually, it's 10, 100, 1,000. It's very long history. That means is in there are a little different approach. That is in is a city is many different background peoples in doing in this area. So UX design is in it's very useful because especially in interface is in focusing in the peoples and also cities. So their interface is really the impact in people. So that is we are considered the interface in UX design area. Is a HCI. Usually in UX design, HCI means it's human computer interaction, but in UX city UX is in HCI means it's a human city interaction. So in input output is there are some interface issues. So that is we are considered in interface interaction is experience that is a city is like a product or service. That is we are consider like this. I know the city is more complex. So actually, the is a more detailed. Is very complex, but it's more and more in we have is many data. It's big data is possible. So that means is we are designed for the in city is possible. We sharing some data, and also we have a more the fact-based some approach is possible. That is in always in design is their purpose. So that is in the city. So actually the ingress life is very is a good purpose for the in city design area. This is in some model for in human city interaction area. This is in our study in our lab. So we also city farm we are also main studied because in the rural side is nature is very good, but is in city side is in too many people is in small areas. That means is in there are many buildings, cars is there. So now is in the design for in carbon nutrition. That means is in some farming is in a city that is in many essential issues. So in our lab also is many studies in the how to farming the in city area. So that is in our some studies. So that is we are making some product, and also we design some service that is in we are some studying the in the city farm. And also we are before is I'm talking the in tourist is very the is well known in the in users in cities. So the users and the travel resources we are is many interface is like a food and accommodation or transportation or sightseeing, shopping, entertainment. Is there are many layers in the users and the travel resources. There are many interactions. So also there are many interface. The interface is maybe sometimes in service, sometimes in space, sometimes in product. So there are many layers actually. So that is we are that is in useful in we if we are designed for in city, especially in tourist. So there are many some layers. Understanding is very key issues. And also in service design area is like in the journey map, and also city UX design is a journey map is very useful methodology. So in depends on the in service and interaction or experiences. There are many journey map is possible. So that is we are more understanding. Especially in city is many different background, many different department is in all happening. So the times is in this kind of in journey map is in very so different services in how to is combines also some meaningful for the in the citizen or customers. That is is also a very useful approach. This is an example in Korea, some cities, we are some the research, and also we are making some management maps. So the in tourist is in what they like, it they don't like is that is in some service design, one example. And also in mobility also is very important in the city. Is now is in is more and more, especially in car area, is in self, is in the electric car is very popular, especially in China, very popular, and also the in AI system is no driver is also possible now is possible, and also their mobility system also in diverse, and also there are many services in mobility area, so that is in really helping in mobility area. So it's in the future is more diverse in mobility is possible, and also it's not just is in on the road, and also is in air side or below the inside is many is mobility is also possible. So this mobility also is in many technologies, people, government is all is in related issues. And also last is I'm talking in old people, especially in Korea is old people issues is really impact in our society, and also impact to the in city area. So they are in medical system, or is many people's in house issues, and also they are actually it's really important in old people how to get their graceful life. It's really it's not easy. That is related to some money in its medical issues and also community issues. So it's many people is after retirement is in happily living is in related with the in also the family issues. So that is many interface issues. So we also in our lab is in doing is a lot of research about for the in old people. So there are many. This is also important issues. So today is I'm talking in city, but is the methodology is using the in UX design methodology. So that is my experience is very useful in city design. But is in today is I'm talking in city, but it's actually UX design focused in human. So focused to human is how to live in the city. That is in the viewpoint. And also the in product side actually interface interaction experience, but is in city side actually we already many experience is there are many interaction and also how to define interface. So we are consider at the same time. So today is I'm talking in UX design is in last 20 years is especially in IT company is very usefully using the in design methodology. But I feel in this methodology is also very useful in city design area. So that is in our today talking in city UX design. That is my first the speaking. So so next is Professor Jung, also ongoing your speaking. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, this is my turn. Okay, is it okay to see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jinyeoul, and I'm designer and professor at Kookmin University, the Smart Experience Design Department. And then I also have several experience in the practical design world. And then also I'm a member of the Seoul Public Design Commitment, and then official consultant of the Korea National Assembly. Why I say like that? Because we current 20 years, South Korea really involved to public design domain in local and national area. In that way, I also commit to the thinking about how our design can involve, also develop, also can we working together for the where we live. It is kind the Professor Pan summarizing really well about why experience design and service design is important now. Actually, it is happen in Korea. Nowadays, Korea, the kind of the space design and then kind of the spatial and then the kind of big size of the mall design. It's not just only architectural problem or not just kind of the marketing and business matter. When they start their own plan, every time service designer and experience designer, they involve it. Because, they should have some content planning and also service planning in the space. Yeah, it's kind of similar of the what Pan saying, the Professor Pan saying, but I should say I forgot about that point. So the title of my lecture is Area Design Management. Our university starting Area Design Management Lab this year, actually. I'm charging about the lab. In our lab, we focusing about a little bit more focusing about urban regeneration. As you know that in current city, they have a donut pattern situation. You know what it is. City developed, the rapidly developed. In that way, center of the city is empty. The people leave. And then we should kind of redevelop that area. So we focusing about that point also. And second reason is the sharing economy with the IT technology. So in that way, concept of space is changed, like sharing office, residency, horizontal hotel idea. And also people need kind of the content and experience, better content. So it's kind of it's not just market or not just kind of commercial building or department store. It's changed like urban entertainment complex. So they need kind of the focusing about the customer's experience. Also, same as a kind of smart city, a kind of the alternative theme of the city appears. Also, the Ms. Pan mentioned about new life model. So in this region, the people live, and then people who live in the city, they need a kind of the experience design. So in our department, we focusing about four main issue: urban UX design, user experience design, also architectural planning. It's not just architectural design; it's more like with the UX user experience design, the architectural environment was very important. So we focusing about planning. Also, the real estate is very important value of the changing our environment. So we also consider about how we can managing about real estate. It is not kind of investment. It's more like how to get involving when we planning about our environment. And then also local content and production platform. Yeah, this is kind of what we usually doing well. So designing about content and also production, but it is not just kind of universal and globalism, something like that, more like focusing about the essence of locality, so the developing about the underdeveloped kind of the local area. So today I want to show about two kind of showcase what our lab did. First is Mokpodat. It's 2020. It is a kind of the starting project at the time. Mokpo City is one of that is small, but it is a little bit far away from Seoul. City size is kind of the medium size at the time, but now getting a little bit smaller. The local city population getting smaller, so it is a little problem. Also, our target place is like this one. This area is close to seaside, and then I already mentioned about the donor pattern is already being in here. So center of the city is people live here, and then there is a kind of empty the place is there. And then there is also a kind of the port is there, but their function is kind of the now useless. So they ask to us how they can develop here, what kind of alternative function and then with this function, how they can develop this area. So we just try to research and then using some kind of service design methodology, check about image keyword, SWOT, the analysis, also checking about tourism stylists, and then the historical context, many kind of the story we check, and then we focusing about, usually urban regeneration is government reading about their project, and then they usually make some new architecture, and then just funding about some money for what citizen needs. But usually, when we ask about what they need, they just usually respond about very, how to say that, very basic things. They didn't talk about the kind of core point. So in that way, the project usually finishes very soon, and then it's not so effective for long-term development. So our thinking and then our gesture is that we need make the strong relationship between the civil area and then government area and education area. It should be belong to us, and then it make kind of the local the area impact platform. In that way, it's gonna be make a long the sustainable kind of system. So this is kind of how they related. The government supporting about more platform system to develop about F&B, means food and beverage, kind of develop the center. And then education, like us, we educating someone who born and raised in that area to teaching about the branding and then the product making, also like the real estate management. And then company is usually from the Seoul and then more like capital city. We asking to investing their knowledge and then their kind of business skill to here, and then local government to supporting our system. We planning about that point. So we thinking about 4 different idea, basically the separate the 4 section, and then try to make relationship. It's not just kind of the developing 4 different area. We also thinking about some business model, like based on a kind of coffee industry, because south area of the South Korea is a coffee industry is not so developed. So we asking about government should be a part of the long-term business kind of management, and then the kind of Seoul, the company in Seoul, they can the co-working with them. But even the business model is wonderful, but the architecture and the environment and then their system should be fit in there. So we also thinking and modeling about the architecture. So make kind of town and then lab system, and also kind of the bridge is more like a landmark idea. So we wanted to make, it's separated, and then it seems like kind of the alone to each other, but we wanted to make a relationship. So like this. Co-working center and the Airbnb center. So this is the interior kind gesture at the time. And then this is mapping is a Korean word, but anyway, so this map mentioned about how they related first year and second year, third year, how we can work together. The first year who want to take a kind of this part, and second year how we can develop about the students kind of the ability, and third year maybe the actualizing a kind of performance. Yeah, this is a kind of the actualizing model. And second project is and then this was a kind of past, and then now they try to actualizing now. Maybe next or next year it might be the settled and then start. I hope so. And then next project is we done the last year. We did about Haebangchon is kind of the old town after how to say that? Okay, so this is a really old town. It's a little bit underdevelopment kind of area. We visit there and we field trip several times, and then we think about how we can develop here. Because in Seoul City Hall, they try to regeneration here several times, but everything is kind of failed. Because this area is the kind of the rate of the land is highly increased, and then this site is how to say that, settled in the kind of mountain area. It's a little bit difficult to develop. The size of the each site also is small, so it doesn't have a kind of the good benefit for development. So it's harder to develop. So we just check about what is kind of the strong point, what is kind of the charming or fascinating point in this town. The every local area, they have their own fascinating point. So we try to get there, and then we just figure out it is in the Seoul main town. It's easy to getting there, but also we can get very beautiful sunset viewpoint. So it already the shop and the restaurant, they use this the land view, the sky view as their kind of the fascinating point of the selling point. So this is Korean, sorry about that, but so we try to checking about their kind of the real estate situation also, and then also the kind of stay program as the rent, but the temporary rent for the 1 night stay, 2 night stay. So nowadays the trend of the stay is kind of populated, even not just tourism area. In Seoul area, the young people going there, stay 1 night, and then having fun, with a friend, it's a kind of a party and get along with the kind of the other people. So we think about kind of the 2 different things. One is a rooftop stay, and one is a kind of the local mat, but it's not just kind of general mat. It's more specializing for the rooftop stay, but it is owned by the group of the local people. So this is a general map about how they related. The stay and then this local mat they relate to each other. It is not just kind of the business model for investor or the other people. It is kind of for getting together. So we do a kind of persona model, also stay scenario model. Also, we just checking about target housing, and very limited kind of the law of the architecture, but we figure out how we can develop or how we can using some another space for building housing for rooftop stay. So this is the kind of architecture model. We are not architecture designer, but currently the 3D program is easier to access. So using this program, we just try to make more simple model to consider about how to use the space. It is. So there is some kind of the more space to use about the rooftop stay. Yeah, this is kind of final result about we just proposal about the rooftop stay and market combined model. Yeah, that's it. So we do like this project. Its size matter of the project is different, very kind of small, the business model, and then sometime 10 years, a kind of the long-term project to changing a kind of the local region area. But we do try to changing our future. Hopefully, that might be where we wanted to live. Thank you.
이예민 교수님
네.
Yeah.
It is okay. 잘 보이시나요, 교수님?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
네. 네. Hello, I'm Hyemin. I would like to introduce an activity called the design work in our lab in Kookmin University in TED. Before introduce myself, I am developing design contents by operation, design education, and workshop programs that incorporate design methodology. In addition, I am striving to, with Professor Pan, productize the various design knowledge and experience of design experts who are active in the global industry. Before Professor Pan talk about the research area of our lab, I am researching the interface of elderly. In Korea, called senior citizen design, elderly in society in the city, and I'm doing it together. So our activity, one of the large productization is design work, not work, just work. We create new work, design work. Work and observate, it is about visiting city around the world to observe the design life for human, and understanding is from the designer side. The design work purpose of creation plus education, and last, knowledge productization, like a book, based on the design process, research, define insight, and design thinking activity, and last, contents and knowledge product development. We started the design work in 2013 with China together. This photo is last design work we joined in Seoul in Korea in January 2018 before the pandemic. Before visiting, research the concept of the city, and after visiting, design workshop on various subjects for 7 days. We together. The Seoul in Korea, Beijing and Kookmin in China, and Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, and Chiba in China. There are also Argentina and Brazil in South America. We did various design work activity from 2020 to the pandemic before, and we wanted to understand the life cycle of local people who experience design service as design researchers. Ultimately, we wanted to apply various social culture in the design industry. And this design work lead to activists, new designers, which lead to the designer essay activities like the city design workbook, not as a design education program. We developed. In fact, they developed their city experience, published them as their books, all of which were published in Real Korea publishment. City Design Work series is a collection of stories told by designers with various perspectives. For example, I will introduce one of them. This is design workbook written by a Korean UX designer alone. She visiting the city of Hadong, Korea, and staying there for about 2 weeks. She wrote a book while observing Hadong's culture and their life of local people with the same storyline as an observation movie, omniverse movie. like just and wrote just like an essay. And Hadong is very famous for green tea in Korea. She drank green tea from Hadong every day and his praise and thought about the digital service progress. So due to pandemic, we can go to design work for over 3 years. I think the country and city with the most diverse culture in China, the most. Personally, I feel so sad I couldn't go there now. So I hope to these activities soon by visiting various city with designers from all over the world later. Thank you for listening my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So today we are three speak about in the city UX design. So I'm talking in the city interface, and also I'm talking the interaction and experience. Actually, the Professor Jinyeoul is making the new lab, the focusing in the area design and local design, especially the design of viewpoint. So that is in our department started in new lab. And also Professor Hyemin is introduced. Actually, we like it in tour. So it's many designers. So we are together is activities. So the kind of in activity. So we are visiting new cities. So we are sharing in the city's experience in design viewpoint. So that is like in workshop. So we are doing is many cities in Korea, in China, in Japan, in East Asia, in South America. So we are a lot of city is many designers in together. So we are doing the eat food together, and also we are sharing each people's experience. That is very enjoyable and useful the event. But last in 3 years actually, so everyone know that in COVID-19, so everything is in stopped. So last 3 years is I'm just stay in Korea. So that actually I'm really like in tour. So but is in anyway. So actually design marathon is also we are in the Beifu is we also before we are doing the design work together. So that is also is a good experience. And also actually it's me and Professor Jung is talking we are not in architect, but and also we are not in space designer, but we are talking in the space or city is as a like in design target, because is more and more is in every department is well connected. So in cooperation is really important. So especially it's like in city, it's really complex product. So it's only architect design something or some government only the planning. That is not working. Actually, it's in every people, every designers in sharing their knowledge and also doing something that is important. So we are belong to in design school, and also our in department is also try to before we are is a lot of the study in the digital area, but and also in city also we are consider in corporate about in design target. So that is in our experience. And also Professor Jinyeoul is really many experience real project, especially with the government. So Korea is also some city is really very busy. Many people is there. Some city is is no people. So it's a lot of issues each cities. So actually the government is really want to the city is a good situation. But everybody know that we have is not many resources. So so designers is really incorporate and also there are many restricted viewpoint they really finding in solution. So that approach is really is many people together cooperation is really is a good example, good approach. And also our in design work, actually the first started in the design student is our some activities, but more and more we are design work also we are cooperated in city side and also in government side. So together is some is a good experience in design methodology. So that is today's our talking. So okay, so Professor Jung, your last comment and also for this live jam.
Actually, where I'm speaking now, it's not kind of Seoul. It's Manlai Laboratory. I'm in Busan. It's kind of the usually 2 hours from the Seoul. Yeah, because I already field trip with a kind of my students here. So during the field trip, I have just a little time, and then I joined this kind of the talk. Yes, Busan also second city, but also there is some empty place. People invite me and our department to have a kind of the brainstorming to how do they do here. Actually, it's not just kind of the Korea and not just kind of Asia world, all over the country, they need to the rethink and redevelopment, not just development, in the development, all the type of the ideas, so how to rethink about the place. Place is really important because, IT is really developed and then we usually use phone and then we in there, but still we have the body and then we have the house, we live in there, so it's important. So how we still rethink in there. So I hope this time it's reminding about that importance, and then it might be helpful time to your study. Thank you.
우리 이혜민 교수님도 마지막 코멘트 해주시죠. 이렇게 톡톡 스피커 켜고요. 예. 지금 스피커 꺼져 있어요. 예.
네.
네.
Mute.
네. In fact, I think the study design area is practical discipline. So I think that is more value on not only planning, also actual implementation. Our professors together, the making, even though many media service are activity, the environment that can actually look at the needs of user is the city, I think. So we look at city and space from the perspective of product, the designer's view. So before I said, I hope to visit in China again quickly. I hope that. Thank you.
Okay, so this is in design marathon. So I'm actually is many times to join the in design marathon. So I'm also enjoy this design marathon. So this year topic is inclusive life. So I hope so is in today is in live jam. So we are talking in US design. So I hope to enjoy. Thank you. So we are finished in this live jam.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.